Hey everybody, Chris here. Today, the United States Department of Justice has charged CZ and Binance, and there's a $4 billion payment, even more than $4 billion, that needs to be made. What's going on? We're going to explore that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit that little notification bell. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And we kind of knew something was going on with Binance, and I'll show you an article that referenced that we had actually talked about back in August as something to look out for. And there were some in the know that I think kind of knew what was about to come. But overall, the markets haven't done too badly. They really haven't. So looking at the charts right now, Doge is still over 7.5 cents. It did dip a little bit earlier, right after the announcement was made public, down to about 7.3 cents, but then moved back up over 7.5 and now is flirting with that. Bitcoin is fighting with this 37,000 line. But look at this big sell-off that we had early this morning. Well, that was not when it was made public that these charges were out and that CZ had actually pled guilty. That hadn't come out yet. So somebody knew ahead of time, and there was this, but look what happened. Once Bitcoin got down here to about 36.3, it started getting bought up, and the price came up to 37.5. So maybe those in the know, maybe they sold up here and then they bought back down here because they knew that actually overall, in my opinion as well, the outcome isn't too bad. It's not too bad. This is not an FTX collapse. Binance can still operate, and it doesn't change anything. It doesn't change anything about cryptocurrencies. It doesn't change anything about how great cryptocurrency can be. It doesn't mean that we can't hold them in our portfolios. And one of the CFTC guys actually said that in the announcement this afternoon. They just wanted to be regulated. That's all, and comply with United States laws. That's it. So overall, this isn't too bad. I mean, you would expect if someone said, earlier that Binance was going to be experiencing this, and that there was going to be some $4 billion plus payment, and CZ was going to have to step down as CEO at least for 3 years. That seems to be what the deal is. That the Bitcoin price would crash. And we saw that a year ago with FTX, 10-20% in the market. And look, Bitcoin's only down like 1.4%, which is really nothing compared to the news. It just goes to show you of the optimism that there is for the crypto markets going forward. Because remember, markets are forward thinking. So sometimes there's usually kind of a reaction to an event that happens, but they're forward thinking and they recover right back. And that's what we're seeing. Now, could we see some downward movement further? Maybe, but there's not going to be some huge drop. There's going to be some gradual, that's trading, and that's generally what you see, but overall, not too bad. So here was the article that I was referencing from Forbes back in August 31st, 2023, that there was this secret Binance filing. What was this? We talked about this back then, that Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies buffeted by surprise headwinds over the last few weeks. There was this thing about Elon Musk and whatever, but there was this crypto markets on alert after the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission filed a secret sealed motion in its case against Binance that included more than 35 exhibits, with one respected crypto investigator predicting September will be crazy. Well, nothing happened in September, nothing happened in October, it's now happening in November. That's when this is finally getting wrapped up. And the SEC wasn't really even in the room today. It was the Department of Justice, Treasury, and the CFTC that were there, not the SEC. Kind of interesting that that's the way it was. So we kind of knew something was going on, especially with the sealed filing. And obviously there have been communications going on and apparently a week ago is when this deal was really struck with Binance and CZ. So what is this? Well, Binance CEO CZ is going to have to step down as the CEO of Binance, and also he can't really be involved in the operations for up to, or at least 3 years. The settlement, this $4.3 billion, well, kind of interesting that there's a 4 there, because I mean, we know that the CZ has had this 4 because he had these 4 different things. I don't even remember what the other numbers were, but 4 was FUD, and if there's FUD in a round, he was always putting up the number 4. Well, the number 4 has now caught up to him because that FUD against Binance is actually true, and that number 4 is coming back to haunt poor CZ. CZ pleads guilty to criminal charges, resigns as Binance CEO. No, I don't know if you plead guilty to criminal charges, especially to the United States Department of Justice, that usually means like jail time, and there's none of that being talked about. It's just this huge payment, and why is billions of dollars? Well, today they talked about, and I've got my notes here, but they talked about the some of the reasons what they were talking about: significant cryptocurrency enforcement actions, both criminal with the Attorney General and Department of Justice, and civil enforcement actions from the CFTC, talking about bank secrecy and money laundering. They're talking an awful lot about the use of cryptocurrencies on the Binance exchange being transferred from the United States to Syria and to Hamas and Russia and others. So they were able to track a lot of this movement, and a lot of it was within wallets within the Binance exchange. So that was all kind of interesting. But then they also went back in history to 2017 to 2019, when the Binance.com exchange was operating in the United States, and that there were billions of dollars of unregulated cryptocurrency transactions during that time, and that Binance had been approached to comply with U.S. law and regulations, and they chose not to. And there were some internal memos that had been found out, where CZ was basically saying that it was better not to ask for sort of be upfront about it, but maybe ask for forgiveness later. It was something like that. And I was just like, oh my God. So he knew. But then there was also this whole thing about what happened in 2019 when Binance.com, and we talked about this back in August, when Binance.com basically stopped all the United States users from trading on the platform, and they created this Binance.us entity, and that was supposed to take care of everything, right? And Binance.us was going to follow all of the United States regulatory laws, KYC, all of that. However, the highest volume US users were being encouraged to use VPNs and continue to trade on Binance.com. They wanted the liquidity on the main Binance platform, and they all knew it. And CZ knew it as well. So that's part of the charge as well. And there was also no reporting of suspicious actions that Binance knew was going on the platform as well. So all of that comes to the end of this investigation and these charges. But what happens from here? What happens from here? Well, we have these spot Bitcoin ETFs coming up, with the BlackRocks and Vanguards, Grayscale, ARK Invest, and all of them, and that this could be the next thing, right? The Binance is the next domino to fall of all of these pre-big boy institutions to get knocked out, like FTX out, like Sam Bankman-Fried out, now Binance out, CZ out, right? So now the big guys can come in and take over Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, whatever. Now it's all worldwide, but the United States market is a very large part of the overall cryptocurrency markets. And so this is just the next step. And I think you're seeing the prices not drop because of this spot BTC ETFs and what this opens up in the markets to very rich people coming in, investors coming into the cryptocurrency market. So as I tweeted or posted on X Twitter earlier, is like, we're early still because we are here already in crypto before this is happening. I think we're early. I think it's going to be okay. There's still some naysayers out there who kind of think that once a spot Bitcoin ETF is approved, or a number of them, that the markets aren't going to perform like we think they are. And so there's some of that out there, but I am not bearish at all. I'm very bullish on billions of dollars of new investors coming into cryptocurrencies out of that. So overall, where does Binance and cryptocurrencies go from here? And this is where I'm positive. So they're going to hire a third-party monitor to look over Binance's shoulders for the next 3 years so that they're complying with United States regulations. That's the first. I don't know what's going to happen with the Binance.us platform. I'm guessing that will continue to work as it is. I don't really like it so much. It doesn't have as much liquidity on it. Hard to trade Coinbase has much better liquidity than Binance.us. And you still can't do fiat on-ramps and off-ramps with Binance.us. As soon as they took that down, I don't know if they're going to be reinstating that or not. So we'll see about that. The number one thing is to protect U.S. investors. That's what the DOJ, Attorney General, that's what they're looking at, is protecting U.S. investors, which I have always said that's a good thing, right? Let's get rid of all of the crap. Let's get rid of the scammers and the hackers and all that and remove that from the system. That will be great. But one thing that the CFTC had said, which was interesting, I mean, he said it's okay to hold cryptocurrencies in our portfolios. That was like the most bullish thing of the whole announcement, was that, because that almost like legitimizes cryptocurrency in my mind, because the head of the CFTC is basically saying, look, this is okay. They're not striking down cryptocurrencies. They're not banning cryptocurrencies. They're getting rid of the bad players. That's what this is. And I think the markets are showing that. We're not seeing this huge drop as a result of this. Again, this was the trading before. This is on the Bitcoin chart. This is the trading before the public announcement was made. People knew this morning something was going on, and so there was some selling. This could have been market manipulation too. Who knows? Some shorting going on, and then buying back in at a lower price. So that's trading that happens, especially with news like that. But overall, pretty stable. Not the volume has really ticked down this afternoon, and all of this is looking okay. What does it mean for Doge? Again, Doge, 7.5 cents. I don't think that's bad. Now, some other altcoins have dropped at larger percentages. This is a little over 3% down for Doge. So again, a little bit more positive on Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin holding its own fairly well. But overall, altcoins really not doing huge drops. I think we're going to be okay. So we're going to continue to watch this. I will be on live Wednesday, 5 o'clock. We will talk more about the outfall from this whole Binance and CZ situation, because I'm sure more is going to come up this evening and tomorrow. So we'll talk about that. So please join me on my live stream, 5 o'clock East Coast time, United States, where we'll see where the markets are and how they've reacted and what's going on into Thanksgiving weekend. Give the video a like, leave a comment below as well. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please do. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.